Hi, welcome everybody. My name is Billy Joe Wright, president of the Hacienda La Puente Teachers Association. We are excited to be partnering with our teacher leaders, Ricardo Racinos and Teresa Castro, to bring you a series of professional development because we believe that teachers should be teaching teachers because you are the professionals. So thank you to CTA and specifically our CTA director, Sergio Martinez, for really supporting us in this effort. And we look forward to a years-long training program where teachers will be the ones teaching teachers. So thank you for being here. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Billy.
All right. Thank you so much, Billy, for that wonderful introduction. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for our Canvas refresher. It is summertime, everyone. This is a really casual training. Please feel free to grab your lunch and enjoy. We're just going to keep things really casual, and we're going to be doing our best to get you ready for day one of school. My name is Teresa Castro.
And I am Ricardo Racinos.
And we are, of course, teachers from Hacienda La Puente Unified in the technology department, here to assist you and support you, even though it is just summer. But we do start school in a few days, so hopefully you find this useful. And if you want to follow along with us, our very brief presentation is up here at the top, bit.ly/Canvas Refresher 2021. And so don't feel like you need to take screenshots or anything. We want you to be able to access that because we have live links in there to videos that you might find useful. So just keep that for yourself and you can go there at any time.
And if you are following on Facebook or on YouTube, you should have that link right on the chat feature. So you should be able to have the link right there.
Perfect. Okay, so Ricardo and I were also new to this platform, so we wanted to try some fun things today. We don't know if it's going to work because we don't know how many are going to be here with us, but please comment in the live chat to enter into our raffle. We're actually going to be raffling off this beautiful webcam. And so all you have to do is simply make a comment and we will run this raffle and it will choose someone randomly to give this wonderful webcam to. Ricardo, do you want to talk to them about that a little bit?
No, yeah, actually, you know what, as I think about it, let me turn that on before you start commenting. So here we go. So now it's ready. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so now if you comment on Facebook or on YouTube, you will be entered in our raffle automatically.
And so if you are actually on Facebook, in order to comment and have your name show, you have to allow it to use it. And so, Ricardo, I think, did you put the link there for them for the StreamYard
it's going
Facebook?
on right now, yes.
So Ricardo's going to put that link there if you didn't allow it yet. So then what Facebook will allow you to put your name in your comments. But YouTube, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. So before we get into it, we just want to make sure we're always focused on our objective. And so our objective today is to explore Canvas basics to get you ready for the first day of school. So our purpose today, we're going to be showing you how to get into the new Classlink, how to set up your Canvas, how to copy your course from last year, import from Commons, start your homepage, create simple modules and assignments, adjust your course navigation bar, and cross-listing. We are not going in depth in any of these things, and we're going to be moving really quickly. So this is recorded. This is meant for you to go back to and watch it, hit pause. And again, we're adding those videos later as well. So please feel free to follow along with us, but we're going to be going pretty quickly today. It's just a refresher. Okay. Our non-purpose is,
let me go back. Sorry.
Thanks a lot, Ricardo. Thanks a lot. Our non-purpose, we don't expect you to have a fully set up complete Canvas course when we're done. You might already, but that's not the pace that we're going to be doing today. We don't expect you to throw out everything you've been doing. A lot of you have been doing this for over a year. You have wonderful material. Do not throw out what you're doing. And please do not feel limited to what we're sharing today. We're just showing you a few different options, but don't feel like this is the only way to do things. Oh, here we go. So here are the videos that we mentioned. So these are also brief videos, but they do go a little bit more in depth than what we're going to do today. So if you do follow our bit.ly for this presentation, you can click on any of these videos and they'll bring you to a little bit slower pace on what we're covering today. Okay.
So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take you inside of Classlink right now so we can start. So if you have had a chance already, and I know a lot of our teachers have had a chance, there's many ways to access Classlink. If you have one of the district devices, the Chrome browser opens and it directly goes to it, but you can always go to our Hacienda La Puente page and look for Classlink, and the link is going to be right there. And the link is just launchpad.classlink.com/HLPUSD. Now, a lot of times we've had teachers that have come back to us and say, we cannot log in. Make sure that you are always on the Hacienda La Puente class link, and you can see it by seeing our logo right there. Okay, so if you're not there and you're trying to log in, it's not going to let you log in. And you might notice that now there's no longer a place for you to put your username and your password. Okay, why do we have that? As we have moved towards making all of our logins consistent and having a single sign-on, we moved to using our Office 365 credentials. In addition, this past week, Classlink was moved up to the cloud. So if you remember last year, we might have had problems where Classlink was down. By being on the cloud now, we're going to avoid those problems because it's always going to be hosted up there on the cloud. But this is the way it looks like now. So now when you sign in, you have to use your Microsoft credentials. In addition to that, if you remember, for our little ones, TK through third grade, we do have the ability to use these little QR codes. We're not going to go over how to print them. This might be done on a different PD, and we also have videos on that. But they can access, just click in here, they can put in the QR code, and they're logged in. But for all of us and for our students, we want to click on sign in with Microsoft. The first time you do that, it's going to ask you for your account, for your Hacienda La Puente account. So let me go ahead and type that in. Okay, and let's go ahead and hit next. Okay, and it's going to ask you for your password. Now notice that I use at hlpusd.k12.ca.us. All of the teachers use that, but our students might be used to using at hlpnet.net. That is no longer the case, okay? They are using their Office 365 credentials, so they have to use their username at hlpusd.k12.ca.us. Let's go ahead and enter our password. Let me do it again. All right. Once you enter your password, the first time you do this, Classlink is actually going to ask you for permission, okay? Saying, are you going to allow me to use your Office 365 credentials? So you want to accept it, okay? And the moment you do that, it's going to take you in, and now you're going to be in your Classlink, and you'll be able to use it exactly the same way that you used it last year. All of your apps will be there, all of the single sign-on will be there, and you will do basically what you did last year. So this is the new way to log into Classlink, and I'm going to pass it on to Teresa.
All right, so the next thing we're going to cover is copying your Canvas course. So we know you put in a lot of work to your courses last year, and we want to show you how to copy your content that you have from last year, or copy content from any course, actually. So thank you for the comments, everyone. We see them coming in. Thank you. So here I am in my dashboard right here. Thank you again for the teachers who are allowing us to use their accounts so that we can emulate really what you're seeing right now. So here I am in my dashboard, and you might have noticed and gotten a little bit nervous because your course from last year might have disappeared and you're like, what happened to it? Where did it go? Don't panic. It's not gone. It's just hidden. So all you have to do is go to the left and go to your courses. And again, I still don't see them, but I'm still not panicking. I'm going to go down to all courses. And from here, if you scroll down in past enrollments, your course from last year will be here. Okay, so don't worry, it's right here. And there's another reason why I came here. I wanted to see the name of it so that I make sure that I pulled in the right one later. So this one's called Grade TKP1. And I know it's the one that went with Aries because it has the term right here that it was assigned by Aries. Okay, so Grade TKP. I'm going to remember that. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my dashboard. When Aries is initialized and linked with your Canvas course, you're going to have a blank course that appears just like you did last year, an empty course that was created by Aries. So I'm just going to, this is not really one, she already created hers, but I just made one in pretend. So let's just pretend this is the one created by Aries, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. So here I am in an empty course, and I'm not going to worry because I know I can just grab my stuff from last year. So I'm going to go to the right, and I'm going to import existing content. And then I'm going to select copy Canvas course. And I know I'm going very quick. Don't worry, you can watch this video later and pause it and follow along. And then I'm going to select the course that I want to copy from. I want to copy from 2020, 2021, and that's the course I want. So I'm going to click on that. If you don't see your course, it might be that you have this unchecked, because this allows you to see your completed courses. So if you see I unchecked it, look what happens. It's not there anymore. Okay, so if you don't see it, don't worry. Just make sure this is checked. It was checked already for me, but you never know. So make sure it's checked. I find that class from last year, click on it, Or if you can't find it, you can also type it in here and hopefully it finds it for you. Okay, so I know that's the one that I want to copy from. And so now we have a choice. Do you want all of your content? Do you want to bring every single thing that you had last year and bring it in? It's going to be an exact copy of your course. If you do, you can click all content and brings in everything, okay? Or you could select specific content and just bring in a few things, which we're going to go over in a moment, okay? So right here, let's pretend I want all content. Let me go down here to the bottom. You have a few options. If you leave it just the way it is, your dates from last year are going to follow and they're going to use the exact same dates this year. You can also adjust the dates. You can shift them. It'll adjust it based off the start of the new term. Or we recommend removing dates altogether. So it removes the dates. So when you see those assignments coming, you just put the new due dates on for your students to use. Okay. So you do have options there. That's our recommendation for now. So whatever, or you could, again, you can uncheck that and it just brings in the regular dates. Okay. So let's just say I did that. I chose all content. I chose whatever I wanted here. And then I just click import. That's it. Once you click import, it brings in everything. Give it time, because if you had a lot of content last year, it's going to take quite a bit of time to bring in all that material. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and now I'm going to back up and I'm going to show you how to select specific content, because that was pretty easy, bring in everything. You just click import and wait. That's it. Okay, so now I'm actually going to select specific content. So let's say you just want to bring in modules, or you just want to bring in certain assignments. You don't want to bring in every single thing. So let's try that right now. Select specific content. You have the same options as earlier. You can adjust your dates, or you could keep the same ones, or you could remove the dates, whatever you decide. Okay, so I'm going to select specific content, leave my settings there, whatever you choose, click import. I'm actually going to do it this time so you can see what happens. And now I have to actually choose what I want to bring in. So I go here and I select content. So I'm going to click on select content. And now you could see all of my content from last year. I can click on specific things. I can click on modules. If you see that little arrow on the side, I can break it down to even more specific things. I can click on that and I can see all the different things. So I could just pick specific assignments, specific modules. I can, instead of choosing all my modules, I could just click on the ones that I want and just bring in those specific things. So I'm just going to, there's only 17, you know, I'm just going to click that. Why not? I'm not going to choose the rest. You can see this teacher has over 500 assignments. I know a lot of you, especially elementary, did that. She has her pages. She has over 2,000 pages. And so that will take time for us to import. So I'm just going to import this for now. I'm going to select the content. When you're ready, select content. And now we wait for it to actually come on over. You're going to see current job is going to pop up and you can see right now it's running. It's bringing that stuff in. And when you're ready, you can go into your actual course and you'll actually see that material in here. Okay, we're not going to wait. You're going to have to trust me on it. Actually, you know, I'm just going to try. Let's see what I brought in modules. I think that's what I said. Okay, it's still happening, but we're not going to wait right now. So trust me, it's going to be in there. All that material would be in here. Okay, and if you brought it in as is, it would look exactly the same as what it was last year. Okay, so now I'm actually going to move on to importing from Commons. So maybe you don't want to use your course from last year, but you also don't want to start from scratch. You want to see what other teachers are doing from all around, and you want to use what they have. So we're going to go into Commons. So before I do that, Ricardo, did I miss anything there? Just make sure.
No, I think the only thing, and we can probably throw it in here so we don't get people confused. We are aware that some of you, not knowing that our district was going to be able to provide those past enrollments and they were going to be available for you, decided to export content and save it maybe on your hard drive, or maybe you put it on the cloud and so on and so on. And maybe you did this because you wanted to keep the grades, but you also did it because you wanted to bring it in this year. This is no longer needed because we have it under past enrollments. But if you did that and for whatever reason you wanted to bring that in, okay, just to show you the same steps that Teresa did, import existing content. Select one. You will go to a Canvas core export package because you took it out and you saved it on your hard drive or on the cloud or whatever. Click there. It's going to ask you to choose the file. You just go there and just find it wherever you found, whatever place you saved it. Just click on it, open, and now you can follow the same steps that Teresa gave you to bring that in. So just another option that we have, but it's not really longer needed if you don't want to go that route.
Thank you. And so, yeah, definitely. So we know a lot of you saved that from last year. So that is another option. I know a lot of you clicked on those files and you're like, it doesn't open, it doesn't work, but it does work because Canvas recognizes it. So just know if that's an option for you, but again, not necessary because we have the other way as well. But thank you for remembering that, Ricardo. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to importing from Commons. So here I am again, I'm home in my course. On the right, I'm going to import from Commons. I'm going to click on that. And just a quick overview. A lot of you used this last year. Maybe it's new to you this year. Commons is just a great place for us to share material. If you have courses that you love, you can share it here so that other colleagues can get to it. Right here, we have the filters. If you just want courses, you can select that. You just want modules, or you just want assignments, whatever. You can click on these to provide your filter. We already have default filters on. We have templates on, and we also have Hacienda La Puente on down here at the bottom. You can select your grade level. Maybe you're just looking for elementary things or high school things or grade level specific things, so you could choose that. But again, like I said, these filters are on default. So right now I'm looking at Hacienda La Puente, and I'm looking at things that teachers have put in as templates. So let's just say I'm doing elementary right now, since that's where I'm spending most of my time right now. So right now I see this awesome resource, which is amazing, by the way, if you haven't used it before. One of our teachers made this, but because it is under Hacienda La Puente and templates. But you know what? I want to see more than one. I want to see what's out there. So I'm going to get rid of Hacienda La Puente. And so now I see over 200 results of things that fall under the elementary keyword. Okay, I didn't do a grade search. I did a keyword. Okay, if I remove templates, because some people don't save it as templates. If I remove that, now I have over 2,000 that I could choose from. So there's lots of things. I just peruse in here and look at what I like. So I can go ahead and just click on one like this one. So if you're not sure, if you're just kind of window shopping, you can go around, and on the side, you can add it to your favorites. And if you do that, you don't have to remember it. You can just go to your favorites later, and they're all kind of organized in one place. Okay, just so you know that. All right, so before I actually bring it in, I could peruse through. I could click over here. I could see, okay, these are the modules that I'm going to bring in. Here are the pages. I could also look at it. Okay. Oh, I like it. That's pretty. So I know that it's what I want. There's files in here. So I can look and see if I really want this material. And if I do, then I'm going to go here to the right, and I'm going to click import. And then I'm going to choose what course I want to bring it into. I know I'm in a course right now, but it's asking me, what course do you want it? Do you want to bring it to all of them? It's up to you. So I'm going to bring it into this one that I'm in. Delete, import into course. And now I'm going to wait for it to come into the course, just like what I did earlier when I was bringing in my own material. And let me just go back, and let's see how long that takes. Here it is right here. Oh, it's already there. This is the course that was empty just a few moments ago. This had nothing in it. And now it has the stuff that I brought in from Commons. And I'm just going to check it out. Here's the home page. I'm going to go to my pages. Here, view all pages. Here are the pages from there, and also some pages that I got from my old course that I copied in here as well. I have modules. Here are the modules that I had from there, and also the ones from Commons. So a combination of things. I did two things. I copied and I used Commons as well. Okay, so that is, I just wanted to show you, you might have brought in things from Commons that you didn't want. So I just want to show you very quickly. Let's say it's something that you didn't want. You're like, wow, that's really great, but I don't need all that stuff. You could simply, as always, go into your material and just simply delete it. Whether it's a module or a page or assignment or anything, you could just simply delete it. Okay, so don't feel like, you're committed to what you brought in from Commons. Okay, all right, so the next thing I wanted to go over is actually, for those of you who do want to start from scratch, you want to create a page, a home page. You don't want to use from last year. You don't want to get it from Commons. You just want something super simple for you to use for day one. So just know when you're here in the home page, this is what we're referring about home page. When we click on home, this is what your students see when they first come in. You have options here. Don't feel like you have to do what everyone's doing, that you have to do what you did last year. Right here where I say choose home page, you have options here. You can have your activity stream be what your students see. You can have your modules, like Ricardo was mentioning earlier. For me, if I went back, maybe I want my kids to see my modules when they come in. I don't care about going to a page. I want them to actually see the modules we're working on. I could have my assignments here. I could have my syllabus here. Anything you want in the home page for your students to see the first time they come in. Okay, so just know you have options that you don't have to use the page. But I am going to show you how to use the page because that's my purpose right now. So you can see I can't even choose page right now because I didn't make one yet. And that's what we're going to do together right now. Okay, so let's rewind a bit. So now we're actually going to make a page that we're going to use as our home page. So in case you didn't remember how to do it, we're going over it right now. So we're going to go to the left. We're going to go to pages. We're going to create a new one by adding that page right here. And here we are in our rich content editor. I'm just going to call it home page. I don't know. Is that 2 words, Ricardo, or is it 1 page? I'm so horrible at that. I don't know. It's just for my benefit, right? Don't judge me. Okay, everyone, I'm a bad speller. Okay, so I'm just going to type it there so that I know what to look for later on. Okay, so now here I am in my rich content editor. If you did create, I know a lot of us created Google Slides, something that you had last year, or maybe one that you're creating this year. If you want to bring that in, just reminding you how to put that in, you can go over here to the top right. There's the embed cloud. You click that. Actually, I'm going to put one in right now just so that you can see. Let me just copy one. And I just brought this in from the actual slides, the embed code, and I'm going to hit submit and just show you what happens. And ta-da, here it is right there. But I don't actually want to use that. So that was just for practice. I'm just going to backspace. There you go. So now I'm just going to bring in material that I found online. So you might just be going online, finding pictures that you like, or maybe there are graphics that you created on other programs like Canva and Adobe Spark, Adobe and all of these other things, okay? And you saved it to your computer. So before I begin, I like to always center what I have so that no matter what device my students are on, it's centered. And again, that's not necessary. That's just kind of being picky because I want it to look nice and in the middle. So I did that. And then now I'm going to pick material that I have from my computer. And I'm going to go to this little thing that looks like a picture of the mountains. And it says images. And I'm going to upload image. I'm going to choose. And here I am. I'm just going to choose a banner that I already have. And as a best practice, just so you know, if you have students who are using readers, have disabilities in that way, it's always best to actually type in what this image is, because if not, it's just going to, it won't tell the student what it is. So if the student can't see it clearly, their reader is not going to tell them what it is. I put welcome so that the reader knows to tell the student this banner says welcome, okay? Or you could say it's a decorative image and then the reader will just cross over it. Okay, so I'm just going to hit submit. And there it is right there. And now I'm just going to add in a few buttons just really quickly, Ricardo. I'm sorry. I'm kind of going a little longer.
Take your time.
Thank you. So I'm just going to add a few buttons. So since everything is centered, you can actually just add your buttons right now and it'll just center them. But I know a lot of you like to use tables. So it makes sure not to bump to the next line, because I know when people are using different devices, it might bump to the next line and you don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to simply put in a table here. I'm going to go table. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't talk about how I got there. So I clicked after and I clicked enter, just like I was typing. Okay. So here I am, table. And I'm going to, if you're doing days, some of you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you would pick 5 across. I'm doing subject matter. So it's up to you. I'm going to do 3 and 2 down. And here we go. Okay. So here's my table. I'm actually going to put my images in the table, and I want my images to actually be centered in the table as well. So I'm going to highlight this whole thing and I'm going to center again. So now even the buttons that I put in are going to be in the middle of the table. I know that's being nitpicky again, but anyways. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some images here just like I did earlier. I saw that comment. Feel free to. Oh my goodness. We have a wonderful teacher who created a cheat sheet for you. We're going to definitely share that. Thank you so much. And I'm using your account, by the way. Thank you so much. Okay. So I'm going to share an image up here from my computer, just like what I did earlier. Let's just use reading. Okay, open. And again, a best practice would be down here for the alt text to be what it is. You don't have to, but again, it helps those students who need it. Okay, so I'm going to hit submit. Let me just do one more. Just one more, okay? Just in case you missed it. Upload. I don't know. Let's do writing. Okay. Open. There we go. And again, a best practice. Submit. And here we go. So we have those buttons that are ready to use. And I know you want these buttons to link somewhere else. Sometimes they're just for decoration, but a lot of you want them to link to maybe an outside website, maybe another source, maybe a video, which we would use Studio, but that's a whole different subject. But maybe you want them to link them to a module, something within your course. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that as well. So I'm going to click on the button. And I'm going to link it, the little link at the very top. I'm going to click link. And if you were doing YouTube or, well, any other like a article or something like that, you would use external link. I know Ricardo's looking at me. If you're doing YouTube, you want to use Studio, but we're not going there again. Okay, but I want to link it to a course link, something inside of my course. So again, I clicked on the image. I went up here to link. I'm going to go to course link, and I'm going to select where I want it to go. And I want it to go to modules, reading. That's it. I'm going to do it with the writing one, just so that you know. Link. course link, modules, writing. And you could see that it's there because now you can see you can actually remove the link if you want to. So now when my students go in here, it brings them straight to that module. Okay. And I'm nearly done. I promise, Ricardo. Now you might see this table that looks amazing, but you're like, I don't want those lines all over the place. Here's how you get rid of those lines so that people don't know that you're actually using the table. So I'm going to highlight the table, and then right up here at the top, table properties, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to advanced, and I'm going to change the border to be the same color as my background. So my background is white. So I'm going to choose that as a border color. Oops, that's not white, is it? This one. Okay, so that's going to be the color of my border. I'm going to hit save. And now my borders have disappeared. It looks amazing. It's centered, and they don't even know that the table is doing its magic in the background. Okay, and then I would just save and publish, and that's what my kids would see. But one more thing, it's not here yet. So if I go to my homepage, it's not there. If you want it to be there, you need to go back to it in your pages. So here's my homepage. I need to go to the 3 dots, and I need to use as front page. Okay, so I'm going to select, so 2 steps here that you need to do. Use as front page. Once you're done with that, you would go back home and you would choose your home page and you would use page front page. So those were 2 things. I know that looked like a lot of steps, but you can change it to any page you want. Right now, I only have 1. I would hit save. And now here it is in my homepage. So again, you would go to your pages. You just make sure when you're viewing all pages, make sure you select front page. Don't remove it. I just made it. And then you would go home, and then you would choose homepage and make sure that one is selected. That's it. So that's how easy it was. Lots of different ways to set up your classroom. Ricardo, I think that's all. If I miss anything, please interject. I think that was it for me.
I might have missed it, but you did mention the embedding, right? From somewhere else?
Correct. Yes. In the beginning, I did show them how to embed. I didn't show them how to get that code. That's a whole different thing. But if they have it, they know how to do it. Thank you.
Perfect. And I think Teresa mentioned that, again, you don't have to feel forced to have a homepage. I know if I was in the classroom, and just to show you, if I went to a student view for this particular class, I will function completely out of modules. My students will just see home and modules. Any announcements that I need to give them will be right there. And then whatever we're working, whether it be by a week, by a unit, and so on, that will be the only thing they will see for that particular week. So again, this is completely whatever you prefer or whatever is going to be best for your students, okay? But again, that's something just to throw out there, okay? So now we're gonna talk about how to create a module. So let's go ahead and go to modules now. Okay, and then you'll notice that I already have one, and there's a reason why I have it, because I wanted to show it to you. I love using text headers. I want to make sure that my kids, and also emojis, I want to make sure that they know, okay, this section right here is just to read or to watch. There's nothing that you have to turn in. Okay, so they get to see that, okay? But then as they continue through the module, all of a sudden I have to do. Okay, guess what? You have to turn something in. That's going to be something that you have to do. And you'll be happy to hear that as you do a module, when the kids click mark as done, that button has been moved to the bottom. So it's going to be easier for the kids to see that. If we have a chance, we'll show you that. But I do this. Something that you might want to do is establish a naming convention, okay? So it doesn't get confusing. Some people do it by subject. Some people do it by weeks. Some people do it by units. Some people just use numbers, 001, 002, and so on. That's completely up to you, okay? But let's go ahead and create a module right now. So I'm just going to go and create one. I'm going to click on it, okay? And I'm going to give it a name. And for this particular one, I'm just going to call it week 1, okay? And then there's a button here that you might have not noticed before, okay? But you actually have the ability to lock this module. So you create your module, you add your assignments, you add your quizzes, you publish it, but you actually can tell it, you know what? I don't want my students to see this until first day of class at whatever time you might want. Okay, whatever it might be, okay? So now guess what? I don't come in here on Monday and thinking, oh my God, I forgot to publish it. Oh my God, it's not there. It's already set. You've set it up to show up and be available for the students on that date. So by doing this, it automatically puts it there for the students, okay? So locking it until is a great tool to have. So let's go ahead and add it. By default, whenever you add a new module, it's gonna put it on the bottom if you have any additional content already there. So it's right here, okay? So if you wanted to add just a file, you actually can come in here and just click. Just so you know, this is kind of a new thing. You can just come and click in here, And if I wanted to add a file, I can just go in there. I'm just going to add a picture. Okay. Okay, let's replace it. And then notice how we just added the file there. Okay, so something that is new that you can do that way. But for the most part, what we do here, right, is that we go to the plus. And again, completely up to you. Okay, we have some teachers that go to assignments and create all of their assignments, and then they just click them into the module they're going to use. Okay, but you also have the ability to just come to the module and function out of modules and just create an assignment here. You have the ability to just create a quiz from here. And notice that when you create a quiz now you have the option to select a new quiz or a classic quiz. That wasn't available before. So you have the ability to create the quiz within modules. Kind of a new thing, okay? So let's go ahead and go back. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to add a text header because I want to make sure that the kids know what's going to be required from them. So I'm just going to do just to read and watch, okay? And I like to use emojis. For me, that was a big thing. The kids knew that if they saw a bullet eyes, they had to actually do something, or a pen, they had to turn something in. So I know in the past we were going to another website and looking for emojis. All you have to do is hit Windows, period, and notice how your emoji keyboard just shows up. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a bunch of bullseyes there for my kids. Okay, and now I have it right there, and now I'm going to add. Okay, so now to read and watch, and I'm going to add my first item here. Okay, and I can continue, but let's go ahead and add something else. So now I'm going to add, maybe I'm just going to add an assignment. Okay, and then I don't have an assignment that is created. I'm just going to create a new one. Okay, so let's give it a name, reading material. I want to indent it because I want to keep a visible look that is easy for my students to understand what I want them to do. Okay, so I'm going to indent it 3 levels. Why not? Okay, and again, maybe I do want to add my, my emojis, right? So whatever it might be. Okay, and then let's add the item. So notice that now I have my header to read, watch, and I have the first thing that they have to do, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and continue with that. So let's add something else. And maybe now I want to add another header, just really quick. Okay, to turn in. Okay, and I can add an emoji if I wanted to. No indent for this. I'm going to put it in there, and now I'm going to continue to add in here. And now they have maybe an assignment or a quiz, whatever it might be that they have to do. So maybe I already created something. So let me just put it in there, and I'm going to indent it 3 times so they understand the hierarchy of my module. So here it goes, and it just keeps adding and adding. So this is a very easy way to add modules. Again, it's not published, but remember that I put available lock until. So the moment that I can just publish, okay, the kids still will not be able to do anything with it because I have it locked. So it will be there. They can see it, but they cannot do anything with it until that day comes. Okay, so that's the way you can do it. I know it's all the way to the bottom of my modules. I can just come in here, go to the 3 dots, say move the module, and just move it right to the top. And now it's going to move, and now it's right on top now. So that was just a quick intro on modules. Anything that I missed, Teresa, when it comes to modules? Okay, so again, thank you. So again, some people, again, like to just function out of assignments. So I can also do that. I can go to assignments, okay? And I can create all of my assignments right in here, or I can do them inside a module like I did a second ago, okay? So let's go ahead and create an assignment, okay? So it doesn't matter how you get there, through modules or through here, okay? You're going to notice that I have an option for mastery paths. When we talk about differentiating for our students, this is a great tool. We don't have time to go into it, but we'll provide a video for you. This is not turned on by default. You have to go to settings and turn it on. But this provides basically a path for different students. You give a formal assessment. Some kids go one way depending on how they did, while other kids go another way, but you always end up with a final assessment and they all take it at the end too. So a great way to do differentiation through mastery paths. But let's just do a regular assignment. Yes, and I'm gonna write delete so I can delete it. Okay, and then again, Teresa talked about the rich content editor. What a great tool inside of Canvas. We have seen many teachers just provide instructions here, add pictures. Some of them use video to provide instructions to build those relationships with the students. So we've seen them do so many things with it. Notice that you have access to over here to be able to link, to be able to add images, right? To bring anything from your drive, from Office, and things like Studio, as Teresa mentioned before. So everything is there. So don't forget to use that tool. We're going to give it points. So this assignment for me is going to be worth 10 points. you have already set up your assignment groups because you want to put them in groups so that you can sync to Aries, and that will be something that you have to choose the correct group. Mine is just going to stay on assignments, okay? There's times that you might not want that assignment to be counted towards the final grade. So if that's what you want to do, you can click this, okay? So just remember that you could do that, okay? But if you do that, remember that you want to keep consistency between the gradebook and Canvas and the gradebook and Aries. So if you do that, you also want to come in here and say, don't include with Aries, okay? Because you don't want to have it not included in the gradebook and Canvas, but included in the gradebook and Aries. So just make sure that you are consistent with that, okay? When we go to submission types, you have many options. Online is what we're used to using last year, right? Text entry, website URL, media recording, student annotations, file uploads. Actually, you might not be familiar with annotations. This came at the end of the year last year, but now there's no need for Kami anymore. You can actually have our kids annotate on any assignment that you provide in Canvas without having to use Kami. So that's a great tool, and we have a video for that too. We also saw a lot of our teachers, when they did online assignments, they provided more than one option for our students to show mastery. What a great idea, right? Maybe that student cannot put their thoughts in writing, but if they do it through a video, they can still show that they understood the material. So what a great tool to have, right? So just remember that that is available for you. Okay, but before I move on, over here on submission type, you also have something that is called no submission. Why will you want to use that? Okay, that will be maybe when students are not going to submit an assignment in here, but you do want that extra column created in the gradebook. Okay, so there's no submission being done, but you do want that extra column, right? Maybe as an exit ticket or entry ticket or participation, whatever it might be, right? You can use it that way. You also have the option to use on paper, and that's something that is going to be huge this year as we go back to the classroom, right? Maybe now they are not going to submit anything on Canvas, but they're going to physically give you something, and you're going to read it and grade it and then come and put the grade in here because you are creating that space in the gradebook. So that's something that you have in there. In addition, you have external tools, and we are all familiar with that. And I know we're going to be covering this eventually, but you have many tools that you can use, such as Flipgrid, Google Assignments, Office 365 Cloud, Pear Deck, and so many others that are available right there. And finally, you might have noticed something in the bottom that is called Mastery Connect. We are so excited for Mastery Connect. We don't have the time to go into it today, but you are going to love it. You actually can create, just really quick, you can create a tracker with standards, and you can assign assignments with standards attached to it, and it puts it on your tracker, but it also puts it in your Canvas course. So we don't have time to talk about that, so we're not going to go into that today, okay? So let's just go to online. Couple of options for us, okay? Okay, you can select which type of files you want. Okay, type of number of attempts, unlimited or limited, that's completely up to you. Okay, we didn't use group assignment a lot last year because unfortunately you cannot sync this type of grades to Aries. So that's why we didn't use it. So just know that it is there for you, but you might not be able, you might not want to use it because of that. Okay. Require peer reviews. We had a couple of teachers at Grazit, and I'll say the name, they used this feature. What an amazing feature. They had their the peers review other students' work, and the students will be able to comment, and you will see that on SpeedGrader. So it was a great tool to use. So that was something that was used last year by some of our teachers. And over here, you're going to assign it. We always tell you to assign to everyone. Okay, and when we talk about cross-listing, you'll be able to see that you can assign to everyone, or you can assign by sections. Okay, so you're going to be able to see how you can do that. But you also, let's say that you want to give extra time to a student, you can also come back over here and add just a particular student because they were late or maybe they were sick and so on and so on. We won't be able to cover that. So let's assign to everyone. We do want to have a due date because of our grading terms. So let's go ahead and give it a due date. Okay. And so Canvas doesn't get confused. You have the ability to add available from whatever date. So maybe I leave it there today, and then add an until date. So this is something that you do want to use, okay? Because of the way our Canvas is set up, by adding an until, it assures that it keeps it in the right term, okay? So whether it be trimester 1 or semester 1, whether it might be, semester 2 and so on and so on. If you don't do this, Canvas doesn't know what to do with it, and it just throws it to the last, I think to the end of the year calendar. Is that correct, Teresa? Am I correct with that? So just make sure that you know that, okay? And we've seen some teachers that what they do is that they do want to make sure the kids get enough time to do it, and they just put the end date to the end of the grading period. So the kids do have that assignment available until the end of the grading period. Or we have some teachers that make it the day that is due is the day that is until too. So it goes away. So that's completely up to you, okay? And now you can save if you're done with it, or you can save and publish if you are ready to put it up there, okay? So that would be just a very, very easy introduction to how to create an assignment, okay? Did I miss anything, Teresa, when it comes to assignments? We're good? Okay. We're going to go ahead and move on. And the other item that we wanted to cover is how your course navigation looks like for you and for your students, okay? So I think I showed you this before, right? If I go to my home and I choose to function out of modules and I click on student view, my students only see home and modules. And they don't even have to see modules. I can hide that too because my home is my modules, just so you know, okay? So how do we accomplish this? How do we hide things? By hiding it, you're just hiding it from the view of the students. You have access to everything, okay? So it's just going away for the students. So what you do is you go to settings, okay? And over here, by default, it goes to course details. But if you move on to navigation, over here, you have the option to say what's visible and what's not visible. So I can bring up, maybe I want my kids to be able to see tutor.com. And I do want them to see that. That's a new service that we have for our kids. So I'm going to bring that up there. And it's on by default. I just hit it because I was trying to hide stuff, okay? Something that I will highly recommend as a best practice is that a lot of times our students authenticate with the wrong Google account. They use their personal account. And in order to re-authenticate, to be able to submit something using Google, they have to be able to re-authenticate through Google Drive, okay, inside of your course navigation. So this is a best practice for me. I just want my kids to see that now. So I can go save, okay? So now when my students come here and they go to my home, you'll notice that when I go to student view, they only see what I want them to see. And now they can see the Google Drive. And then let's say, but that for whatever reason, they have the wrong tool or the wrong Google account, they'll be able to change it right here by going to the top. You can see it because my student view doesn't have a Google account per se, but you should be able to see that. So just a great tool to have, just so you know, okay? So that's how you will move things back and forward. Anything else that I missed with that particular section, Teresa? I always have to check with Teresa. Are we good?
You're good. I'm muting myself on purpose, but you're
Great.
good. I would have interrupted you.
Great. And then we're going to move on to cross-listing, okay? So I'm going to go back to dashboard. And then let me talk about cross-listing. As a middle school teacher, or maybe a high school teacher, or maybe a self-contained 6th grade class, I do not want to have period 1 Spanish 1, period 3 Spanish 1, period 5 Spanish 1, and have to create assignments on each course or copy from one to the other, or have to individually sync each section to my gradebook. I can do what is called cross-listing, okay? What that does basically is it takes all of your periods, period 1, period 3, period 4, and puts them into one course. So now you can grade inside of that course. You can assign to all of your sections. You can sync to all of your sections, and it just makes it a lot easier for you. So how would you do this? Okay, couple of things. The first thing you want to know is that you can only, or we highly recommend that you only cross-list before you publish your courses. So you have to have them unpublished. Why do I say that? Because the coursework is retained with the course and not with the section enrollment, okay? So if I already created my homepage and I already published it and I already added assignments, if now I go and cross-list, that section that I brought into my main course might not see that stuff because I did it after I have published that particular course. So make sure that you cross-list before you publish your courses, okay? So what I want is I want my Spanish 1 period 1 and my Spanish 1 period 2 to function out of one class, okay? So a couple of things that I want to do. First, I want to change the name of this period. I just want to call it Spanish 1 and change period 1. So when I cross-list my period 2 students don't get confused. You know, they go to the counselor like, I only see period 1, but I'm supposed to be in period 3. And that happened a lot last year, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this class, okay? I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to change the name to just Spanish 1 Vecinos. And that's what I want to call it, okay? And I'm going to say that. Okay? And I go back to my unpublished courses. And now you're going to see that I have, it's going to take a while to update probably, but it should change your name. It should have done it already. If I refresh, it'll probably do it. But I want to bring my period 2 into that particular class, okay? So there's a couple of ways to do it, okay? The easiest way to do it is you go into the course that you want to cross-list into your main course you're going to be using, okay? So I want my period 2 to go into period 1. So I'm going to go there. Okay. I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to go now, by default it's in course details. You want to go to sections and you want to click on that section period 2. Okay. And unfortunately, we don't have courses. So this is why we're doing it through courses that we created. And once you come in here, notice that you have the ability to cross list right here. Okay. So I'm going to click on it. And for you, it's going to be a lot easier when you come in here and you type the course you want to cross list into. It's only going to show your courses, but you're going to see that I'm going to show a lot of courses. But I'm just going to type Spanish 1. Notice how I get all this list, but remember I called the Spanish 1 Recinos, right? That's where I want to cross list into. So I'm going to click that, okay? And now it says, are you sure you want to cross list into that course? Now notice that right here, you have a course ID, okay? I highly recommend doing this using the course ID because as enrollments keep happening and the years go by and by, all of a sudden you're gonna have Spanish 1 from 2021, 2022, 2023, and you might get confused. So to be correct, I will use the course ID and I'll show you how to do that. But for now, it's fine to just go and find it, and I'm going to cross list. Okay, it says successfully cross-listed. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Okay, I'm going to go back to my unpublished courses. And you're going to notice that now that Spanish class that said period 2 is gone. It's not there anymore because guess what? It's inside of that main period class that I'm going to use. So if I go in here now, all of my students are going to be in here. I still have the ability to go to gradebook and filter by sections if I want to. I can assign, I can create modules, I can grade, I can sync, and so on and so on. And I don't have to be worrying about doing it in 4 or 5 different places, okay? So make sure that you know how to do that. So that is how you cross-list. It's very easy to do. We do have a video, and we can provide that for you too. Anything else that I missed when it comes to cross-listing, Teresa?
Ricardo, did you mention anything about combos? So I'm going to mention it right now really quick.
Oh, you can mention that, but can I do one more thing so I can
Yes,
show?
yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so what we recommend, again, you can do cross-listing like I did it a second ago, okay? But what we recommend, honestly, is that you go into the class that you're going to cross-list into, and I'm trying to find that right now. I'm just trying to find any class. I'm so sorry. I don't have classes from in Aries. I'm just trying to find a class. Let me just go to anything. It doesn't matter, I guess. So let me just go to this class right here. Sorry. Okay, this might be my period 1 Spanish that came from Aries, okay? Go to settings, okay? You're gonna be cross-listing into this class, okay? Go to course details, and then here, you should have an SIS ID that is coming from Aries, okay? It's gonna be a number that looks something like this. I'm just guessing, okay? So when I cross-list, I wanna copy this, okay? Once I've done that, I wanna go to the class that I wanna cross-list into that particular course. I wanna go to settings. I want to go to sections. I want to go in there. I want to cross list. And instead of looking for the course, it's just, I'm going to paste it. It just knows to do it this way. And it's going to go into the correct one because it's reading it straight from Aries. Just to throw that out there. Okay. Go ahead, Teresa. You want to mention the self-contained, right?
No, not the self-contained, the combo
go ahead.
teachers.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you might wonder why we're bringing up cross-listing is such an important thing, but just so you know, because you might not know, if you're doing a combo this year, it's going to look a little bit different. Usually your combo course, for example, if you're doing a 3-4 in your enrollment, it used to be a combo 3-4 class. Now you actually have a 3rd grade class and a 4th grade class. So you essentially have 2 classes. And the reason why they did that is so that you're able to sync your grades properly into Aries. So you can choose whether you want to keep your classes separate in Canvas. Maybe you do want a 3rd grade class and a 4th grade class and they function separately, or you might want to put them together. Maybe you put them together so that you could do all the things that they do joint. So you could cross list in a combo class. So some of you had combos last year and you liked them together. So now you would actually have to cross list just like what Ricardo said. So you don't have to, but just so you know, for combos, that's a little bit new to us this year. They are separate classes. So you can cross this if you want, but you don't have to. But the way it's set up now, regardless of what you choose, now you could actually sync properly to Aries, because the way they were set up last year, it wasn't working. So anyways, just so if you are a combo teacher, that is for you. If you need more info on that, we'll definitely be there to support you. Yeah.
Right. Did I cover everything, Teresa?
I think you did. I think that was everything we wanted to cover, and in the right amount of time.
Perfect. So Thank you so much for joining us. And we did not forget about the raffle. So we're going to do that right now. So are we ready to see who's going to take that amazing webcam? Is that what we're raffling, Teresa?
Yeah, I might win because I was commenting, but
Okay, so here we go. If you win,
Okay.
I'm gonna do it again. Okay,
Oh,
here it
man.
goes.
Okay.
And our winner for our raffle, it better not be you, Teresa.
If it's me, I'm
Oh
gonna
my
laugh.
God. Oh, Hacienda La
Hacienda La
Puente.
Fuente.
We're gonna draw again. I'm sorry.
Ricardo was really excited to use this tool today. We weren't sure if it was gonna work, so you could tell from his face he's super excited.
I just wanted to give that webcam away. It better not be you. And here we go. Brian is our winner. So Brian is gonna be getting that webcam from us. And
yes. So we're gonna have to. I see you're logged in from Facebook, so we'll find you and we'll private message you to make sure we get that information so that we can get this out to you. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Anything else, Ricardo?
I think that was it. Thank you so much for joining us, and we are here to answer any questions you might have. Have a good day. Bye-bye.